Three, two, one. Three, two, one.
Hey Elizabeth, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
So I just wanted to go over, I'll be running your event today.
2, 1.
Okay, great.
So I just wanted to go over, do you want to be put on stage right at 11?
Yeah, I don't know if Trent can hear us or not. If he wants to pop up, there's a difference, but I think that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll just immediately welcome everybody and get started.
Okay. All right. Perfect. I just wanted to double check. I didn't know if you wanted to play it by ear a little bit and let me know, or we're just going to go straight with 11.
Hey, Trent, can you hear us?
Yes.
Are we
Good
good
morning. How are you?
Are we good to start right at 11? Was Elizabeth's question?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Yeah, no problem.
Morning, guys.
Hey, Jim.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
How are you all?
Doing well.
Good.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Truly an
I
honor.
will be right back.
Truly an honor. Mason, a little bit embarrassing too. So many people in our class brought so much to the table. I'm a little embarrassed.
Yeah, y'all are a great cohort, for sure. And in spite of everything, it showed real leadership. So I think it's exciting. Something worth celebrating today.
Amen. Yes, it was truly a wonderful event. I think most of us are sad it's over. Welcome to all of our visitors that are on YouTube and Facebook. We just want to welcome you as we idle and we're waiting for our graduation to start. You may see some different spots on these tables. This is a platform called Lunch Pool that we use for the graduation participants and alumni to come in and visit and talk about graduation and all things CPM. So as you watch, you'll see what's going on the stage, and we're so excited for you to be here. So we will start promptly in about 3 minutes, but I just wanted to welcome you to the CPM graduation. So we'll start the stream, the live stream event shortly.
Well, good morning and welcome to our Tennessee Certified Public Manager Graduation Program. We are excited to have each of you with us today. My name is Maisel Ely. I serve as the director of the University of Tennessee's NAFE Center for Effective Leadership. And before we get started, I just want to congratulate our soon-to-be graduates. You guys have worked very diligently and very hard through a pandemic. In matter of fact, through a pandemic, you've done this. And you've done over 300 hours of instruction. You've done a capstone project that certainly is making government in Tennessee more efficient and more effective. And in spite of that, you're still doing your day-to-day jobs in government, whether it's local, state, or federal. And we're very proud of you, and congratulations on this momentous day. Also want to thank each of the friends and family and loved ones that are joining us via our Facebook live stream or our YouTube channel, and supervisors and professional colleagues that are here to support you as graduates. None of this would be possible without everyone being united and rallying to help make the government more efficient and effective through the CPM program. And so we're excited to have everyone here. Now, this morning, I have a distinct honor and privilege to introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker is Dr. Herb Bird. Dr. Bird serves as the Vice President of the University of Tennessee's Institute for Public Service. He's no stranger to many of you that are here today. And as a personal note, I am very honored that he's with us because of his long-standing support of this program and our participants. So it is my deepest pleasure to introduce Dr. Herb Bird. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Bird.
Well, thank you, Dr. Ely. It's certainly a privilege for me to be able to be with you today, and I want to add my congratulations to everyone on your completion of the Certified Public Manager program. I have been excited at least to see some of the summaries of the work that you're doing and that you're planning, and your capstone projects are making a difference all across the state. So I'm glad to be able to celebrate with you today and congratulate you. I just lately finished reading the book by General James Mattis called Call Sign Chaos, Learning to Lead. And in that book, there were several things that I found apply to a lot of what we do. He first, early on in the book, talked about how people contributed to his learning and knowledge and philosophy. And he quoted from General George Washington. And apparently George Washington had 4 principles that he proclaimed helped him as he led his troops. And those 4 things were: first, listen, then learn, help, and lead. And as I think about the roles that all of you are in, I think that's a good reminder for us that we do need to listen to folks around us. We do need to be always learning, helping, and leading in the ways that we go. But I wanted to focus in for just a second on the learn part. You've been very much involved over the course of CPM and have spent over 300 hours focused on learning. And that's something that's really critical to us. Jim Mattis said that constant learning, especially for folks in the military, but I think it applies to us as well, is not only a moral dictate, but the cost of incompetence is so great. We cannot afford not to be in a learning mode all of the time. And so I commend you on the investment that you have made in your own learning journey. And I look forward to seeing how you're going to put that knowledge to use. He commented that every time he was promoted as a military officer in the Marines, that he got a new reading list. And he talked about how all those things that he read informed the work that he did. And he said our enemies paid a hefty price because of all the learning that took place through his career, and that he was able to call on that knowledge as he faced significant problems and issues and challenges in his leadership. And I was struck at the end of the book, in the acknowledgments, he said this. He said one of the reasons that he wrote the book was that he carried a strong sense of gratitude that he wanted to share with the country that had paid his tuition to learn all that he had been taught. And I think that's something that's a great reminder for all of us that have invested in ourselves and in the work that we do through programs like this, that there's an obligation not only to learn, but also to share it. And so I encourage you, as you lead, as you put into practice the things that you've learned, that you work with others to share that knowledge and information that you've gained. And I look forward to seeing all the great things that you're doing and are going to do across our state as a result of the investment that you've made. So again, congratulations. I'm delighted to be with you today. And I will turn the program at this time back over to whoever's next.
Good morning. My name is Jeff Stiles. I'm the Leadership Program Manager at the NAFI Center for Effective Leadership. I too want to congratulate you on your graduation today. All the hard work that you put in and all the effort you put in to getting to where you are. So congratulations to you. It is also my great privilege to introduce our speaker this morning, Deputy Governor and Chief Counsel Lang Wiseman. As Deputy and Chief Counsel to the Governor, Lang Wiseman is responsible for coordinating the legal affairs of the executive branch for the governor and advising the governor on legal and other matters on a day-to-day basis. He assists in the development, drafting, and implementation of legislation, oversees the governor's relations with the judiciary, the attorney general and reporter, and district attorneys general. He assists the governor in judicial appointments and reviews requests for executive clemency. Prior to his appointment, Mr. Wiseman was a founding partner at the Memphis law firm of Wiseman Bray PLLC. Mr. Wiseman previously worked at Baker Donaldson, Behrman, and Caldwell PC after serving as counsel to the Government Affairs Committee of the United States Senate. Mr. Wiseman graduated with honors from Harvard Law School after attending the University of Tennessee, go Vols, on a basketball scholarship where he was co-captain and finished as one of the leading scorers in UT history, three-time academic All-SEC and All-American selection, and named as top graduate of the College of Business. And a little note that I found, Mr. Wiseman, that wasn't in your official bio, is that last year you were selected as a Tennessee SEC basketball legend for 2020, joining the ranks of former players such as Tony White, Ernie Grunfeld, Dale Ellis, Allen Houston, and Bernard King. So thank you, Mr. Wiseman, for being here with us this morning. And ladies and gentlemen, number 22, Lang Wiseman.
Thank you for having me. I often joke, I think back to that old song on Sesame Street where they put the pictures together and they say which one of these things doesn't belong. But I feel very very fortunate to be here this morning, and I want to congratulate all of you. The investment that you've made is tremendous, and certainly endures great benefit to the state. So I want to congratulate you for all of your hard work. In thinking about what to say to you here this morning, I've actually looked through the capstone projects and some of the participants in the program, and I've had the great honor of knowing several of you and having worked with several of you, and thinking about what I might say that would be so memorable and meaningful. And I take it's a bit liberating to know that I have only a vague recollection of any graduation ceremony speech that was made, and so that was a bit liberating to me. But I just wanted to not only congratulate you, but just offer some of the perspective I think I've gained over the years, and particularly the last couple of years being in state government. When I think about leadership, there are all kinds of leaders. Some leaders lead by force of their personality or their expertise or their energetic way, and there are just so many different types of ways of leaders. And I've been around lots of them. I've been around coaches growing up and through my basketball career, and then into law law firm organizations, both large and small. I've been on boards of vast enterprises. I was formerly fortunate enough to be a member of the UT Board of Trustees and the State Board of Education. And I've gotten to see and benefit from and learn from some very good leaders. And as we could probably all share, we've also learned from bad leaders and have some notion of what we want to take away and what we want to perhaps not emulate. But there are a lot of different qualities, and I just wanted to talk to you about just a few that I think are so important to being an effective leader in the place where you are. And I think that's the key thing, is to understand that in some respects we're all leaders, whether it be in our organizations, whether it be on a larger enterprise or a small team, or even our homes and our families. We all have a responsibility to lead. And I think probably a few qualities that I think that I learned early on from an athletics perspective in dealing with coaches, and we've many of us had these types of experiences, and the best leaders. There are a couple of three factors I want to talk about. One is preparation. Dr. Bird was kind of stole my thunder a little bit, but I want to talk about the importance of preparation. It almost goes without saying, but preparation. We each have opportunities. We have time, and so the question is, what are we going to invest ourselves in order to be the best that we can be, so that we can effectively lead our organizations, our families, our teams. And so I think as a lawyer, and having been in private practice, one of the unique things, and which is the bane of the existence of many lawyers, is that we keep time. You bill your clients by time. And I think over the years, I kind of learned from that process, as difficult as it is from at time to keep up with every minute of the day. We typically, lawyers bill in 6-minute increments. It's actually a helpful concept, if you stop and think about it, to actually have to account for your time. And while I'm not suggesting that anyone account for their time in 6-minute increments each and every day, I think it's helpful to occasionally step back and take a real inventory of what it is we do with our time. Where do we invest our time? It's like the biblical passage about the parable of talents. I personally try at least every few months, perhaps quarterly, to sit down and take an inventory of my time. Unfortunately, my iPhone indicts me every week. Every Monday morning, at least on my phone, I don't know if that's a setting or whether that happens on everybody's phone, I get a report of how I have spent my time on my iPhone. And sometimes it's very indicting to just look and see how we're spending our time. And I think if we look and really take an inventory and a stock of how we spend our time, we might shift some things that we do. So some of the things that I think are helpful to think about, or think about, what do we spend our time reading? What are you watching? Who are you spending your time with? And what are you willing to do differently in that regard in order to achieve a different result? That's not to say that everyone needs to be a workaholic. Everyone needs to be driven all of the time. There's certainly a balance to be had in life. I personally, I have 4 children, so you can imagine that that requires some balance. But I think being mindful and at least being purposeful about where we spend our time. And I know that I personally am routinely shocked to realize how much time I spend on things which are not productive, and that I would encourage all of you to think about how you spend your time, where you spend your time, and how you prepare yourself to lead and to achieve the results that we all want to have. I have the good fortune over the years of coaching basketball teams that either my sons have played on or community basketball teams. We've been on travel organizations and have been fortunate to coach a lot of really good players. Some of whom are playing college, a couple who've even made it to the next level in the NBA. And one of the things I tell kids in coaching is that everybody wants to win, but there's only a few who are willing to do what it takes to win. And that is something that I think has driven me in terms of being mindful of understanding that process matters. Process matters. You can't just think about the result. You have to engage in a process and a plan in order to get there. One of the things that was taught to me early on, and it was referred to as the law of the price. And it goes something like this. I may butcher this, but the law of the price is that you can pay the price now to get what you want or to achieve the result you want, or you can pay the price later for having wasted the opportunity to do what it takes to get you to the result that you want. And I think that's important. I've tried to impress that on my older sons, that there's a price to pay, and there's always a price to pay. And it's either in preparation or it's in regret on the back end. So I always try to be mindful of that. Second thing after preparation, I would think about is the actual kind of the operational aspect of being a leader. And I want to talk a little bit about the approach of being a servant leader. And I know that's a kind of a tired phrase perhaps, but I think when back in my old playing days, we all can remember, whether it be teachers or coaches, one of the key aspects of being a leader, and one of the most important things about being a leader is fundamentally understanding and having the humility to understand that being a great leader is not necessarily about the leader. Being a great leader is about the team. One of the hardest parts of being a part of a sports athletic team, or any team for that matter, is as a coach or as a leader, is to understand the team dynamic. Everybody comes to a team with certain needs and with certain desires, certain hopes, and certain goals. As a leader, it's important to dig in and to really understand, and not only understand, but also to help shape the goals and to get everybody rowing in the right direction. As a young freshman coming in to UT, you quickly understand that everyone is the high school superstar. You get there, everybody who's your new teammate is a high school superstar, and everybody wants to be the superstar. Everybody wants to be the high scorer. But the reality of it is that's not how teams work, and it's the coaches and the leaders' job and responsibility is to help people understand and to shape their expectations, their desires, and to help folks understand that it's the team's success, and that you can have individual success that leads to team success in ways that perhaps the individual team members have never really considered. Again, I think back to the biblical message about the hand. Not everybody can be the thumb. Not everybody can be the forefinger, and it's difficult at times. That's the hard part of being a leader. Again, it's not just about leading; it's about understanding and empowering your team. I've had the great fortune of getting to know one of the generals is helping with our COVID response at the state level, who came out of retirement to help us, and he jokes often that in 30 years in the military, he's never once had a good idea. That it's all the ideas of those around him that he is fortunate enough and smart enough to recognize and to channel all of those good ideas of his team. It's about the team, and that's that's sometimes difficult as a leader to understand, because we oftentimes get caught up in what do we have to do today? What can I do today? And in reality, being a great leader is about facilitating your team. I would say that one of the lessons I learned in sports is you always seem to find that the greatest coaches are the ones who set their program up so that players win, coaches lose. And what that means is that coaches take the bullets and give the praise to the players. So what I would say is, as a leader, I think it's important, and I've found in watching leaders that I've come into contact in, and I try to in my own organization, is to be generous with praise and stingy with blame. That doesn't mean that you give up on accountability. That doesn't mean that you don't have high standards. It means that you give credit where credit is due, and you try to find ways to correct behavior and to realign mission and or focus to a point where you are where it never comes to the point where there has to be blame. The last thing I would say is the last important feature of being a good leader. There are many, obviously, but one that I think is critically important, and one that I have really come to focus on here in the last 2 years. You might imagine the challenge of responding to COVID has been one that has been incredibly challenging, to say the least, in state government. I often joke with people that the last 9 months have been the longest 9 years of my life. It has brought to bear many resources, many great folks within the state who have bent over backwards to try to affect the type of change and response and flexibility in order to meet the challenge. And it hasn't always been easy, and it hasn't always been right. In dealing with situations where information is not always perfect, the response has not always been perfect, the science has not always been perfect, and there's a need to act, and to act quickly. And so one of the things that I have learned and appreciated in working for Governor Lee that's really come into focus is as a leader, don't be afraid of failure. And that's one of the things that I think growing up as a heavily involved in athletics, that I learned early on is there are a lot of high achievers in life who've never failed, don't know how to fail. And I don't mean that don't know how to fail in the sense of you should strive to fail, but don't know how to respond to failure when it happens. Fear of failure can be paralyzing, and I think one of the things I learned early on in my sports career is that you'll never make the big shot if you're afraid to take it. And sometimes it's very important to be willing to trust in your preparation, to trust in your mission, and then to take the shot. The transformational change is almost never achieved without challenging the settled way of doing things. So we have to constantly improve, constantly challenge the way we think about things, and be willing to allow your team to do that, and to create an environment where your team members are allowed to think outside the box, who are encouraged to think outside the box, and who are encouraged to do things which are challenging, which are outside the box, which might not have a guarantee of absolute success. Now, that's tough, it's really tough because no one wants to set off on a path. It's tough because when you create an environment for folks to challenge the status quo, to take chances, to reach for the sky, to try new things. As a leader, that requires even further monitoring and constant tweaking so that if something gets off track, then you can course correct as time goes on. It's a much harder job as a leader to constantly be in touch and be in tune and be aligned with your team. I think it's very important for your team members to be able to achieve all of their potential, which in turn is what leads to the team success. I think it's very important that you accept that challenge as a leader to allow people the room to accentuate their talents and to try new things. I think one of the things I've been very encouraged by and frankly surprised by during the challenging times we've had over the last year is the extent to which our state has continued to grow. And it's quite remarkable if you stop and think about it. Every day we receive updates on the economic growth in our state. The companies who are coming to make investments in new facilities and new factories, and it seems like it's one a week. It's Amazon, or it's a car part manufacturer, or it's astounding to think of the attractiveness of our state relative to other states. I saw a data point the other day that according to U-Haul, Tennessee is #1 in terms of destinations for movers across the country. People are moving to our state. Companies are moving to our state because it's a good place to live and it's a good place to do business. That is attributable in large part to the work that you do. And again, I looked at all these capstone projects and I thought, wow, we're really doing something right in Tennessee. And it's because of people like you and the work that you're doing and the teams that you're leading. And I would just encourage you and thank you for your commitment, the number of hours that you have put in to enhance your leadership skills, and your commitment to your organizations and to your teams is invaluable to our state. And so I wanted to offer not only congratulations, but thanks for all that you do for our state and for your various organizations. So with that, I would say thank you again, and wish everybody a good weekend.
Thank you, Deputy Governor Wiseman. Such wise words, and you hit exactly the theme of the Certified Public Manager program with taking those risks and finding the best path to go. And we are so thankful that for your time today and for your support for our program, and want to thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm honored today. My name is Trent Clagg. I'm the program lead for the Certified Public Manager in Tennessee. And such an honor to be with everyone today. Such a proud moment for us at the NAFI Center. We have a lot invested in the CPM program with UT and the Institute for Public Service. And I'm honored to have all of our people, alumni and guests and supervisors all in one place. So we're so thankful for you to be here. As you know, the Certified Public Manager program has grown to in great bounds throughout these last few years. And so we are fortunate to have cohorts in Jackson, Nashville, and Knoxville. And each of those cohorts have wonderful people, and we're able to join together. And even through this pandemic, we've been able to join together and have wonderful discussions and keep on trucking in the midst of adversity of the pandemic. And so as we have finalized, we asked all of our participants in each cohort to select a class representative that would speak on their behalf. And so we have asked the Jackson, the Nashville, and the Knoxville cohorts. In Jackson, we have the mayor of Covington, Tennessee, Mayor Justin Hanson. And then in Nashville, we have the executive director of the Tennessee Board of Parole, Jim Purviance. And then Knoxville, we have the director of Knox County Community Development, Jenny Holden. And so I would like to invite Mayor Hanson to come. They will come right after another, and we'll enjoy their reflections of the CPM program in their cohort.
Well, thank you so much, Trent, and thanks to everyone. Congratulations to my fellow CPM colleagues. 300 hours and a year later, we're graduating, and it's a real honor. Thank you to my Jackson friends, my West Tennessee cohort friends, for naming me as your class representative. It's an honor. So, you heard Deputy Governor Wiseman and Trent and others from the NAFI Center talk about the challenges with COVID-19. Well, in the Jackson cohort is interesting in a couple of ways. Number one, we are the first CPM cohort in West Tennessee. So I'm proud to be a part of the first West Tennessee cohort, the Jackson cohort of this esteemed leadership program to have completed the course. So congratulations, Jackson colleagues, West Tennessee colleagues. And number two, I believe we've actually had the privilege of spending more time actually together. We were the last cohort in March to have an in-person class before COVID hit, and we had to go virtual. So my hat's off to all of my colleagues. So one of the most valuable things of this program for me and for our entire class has been the people that have not only instructed us, but the people we've been able to serve with in the class. It's been a real honor to hear the thoughts and hear the ideas of my friends from Germantown. The city of Germantown had a large representation in our class. There were about 5 class members, and the interesting part of the Jackson cohort, the West Tennessee cohort, has been that we've gotten a really nice balance of both metro and rural, which is the face of West Tennessee. So I've just been so impressed with my class members and the friendships that we've made and the lifetime friendships that we've made. The beauty of this program for us has been not only the sharing of ideas to make our communities better, the collaboration to make our communities better, but also the friendships and the relationships we've built, not just in West Tennessee through our class, but in the classes from Nashville, the Middle Tennessee region, and Knoxville as well. We've had some limited times to actually be together with the entire CPM program for the year 2021. So it's just been a real honor to have such esteemed guest speakers and instructors. Our hats off as a class to Trent, Dr. Ely, Dr. Bird, and others who have really adjusted their business model, as we've talked about so many times, very, very quickly to bring all of this to us virtually. And it's been a real challenging year, but I'm so proud of all of my colleagues for making it through, putting the time in, as Deputy Governor Wiseman said, staying the course and graduating today. So congratulations. It's an honor to speak on your behalf. It's been a real pleasure.
Everyone, my name is Jim Purviance, and I have the distinct honor and pleasure of being elected by the Nashville class to speak to you today. First and foremost, I want to thank my Nashville cohorts for electing me to do this. I was telling Dr. Ely a little earlier, I'm embarrassed, quite frankly, to be picked because there are so many persons in our class that brought so much to the table every day. It's just a shame that everyone can't have a moment to reflect their thoughts upon the program. The mayor stole a little bit of my thunder, but I'd like to share with you, I have always tried to live my professional career by a quote from Coach Paul Bear Bryant. That quote is, have a plan, work your plan, and plan for the unexpected. I failed miserably at this plan by not planning properly for the unexpected. I honestly anticipated in the very beginnings this course would be one where you would show up once a month, do a little work in a classroom, meet a few folks, pick up a tip or two, and then 12 months later you would graduate with a certificate. I was not prepared for how much I was going to learn from my fellow classmates, and not to mention the facilitators. Our cohort in Nashville was very blessed. We had persons in all seasons of their career. We had persons who were entry level, mid-level, and then a few of us who were slowly sneaking into the twilight of our career. And the fact that we could learn from all three is absolutely phenomenal. As I mentioned earlier, our facilitators, the best, could not have been any better. They brought real world knowledge and experience to the table. They engaged us to speak and think out loud and work with others. And it wasn't just textbook theory, real world experiences. And even with COVID, we learned a valuable lesson. We all had to get out of our comfort zone of being together in a big room and learn new technology to be able to communicate and learn. It worked fantastic. We were all disappointed that we couldn't be together, but after about the first hour of that virtual meeting, we were back in our small groups, talking, exchanging ideas, and contributing to the class as a whole. One of the most important things for me is I walked away with a skill set and some tools that I could use. We met on Fridays in Nashville, and it was very common after spending the weekend reflecting upon what we had learned and talked about on Friday. I was able to bring some of those ideas to the office every Monday morning and share with our leadership staff. And I think it was helpful. At least I hope it was. And another very important thing is we can call on each other at any time, be it the Navy staff, be it our cohorts, even our cohorts in the other regions that we got to know. And that in itself is invaluable. And I would be remiss if I didn't speak a little bit about the LinkedIn learning. Absolutely fantastic. I know a few folks struggled a little bit with Excel and Microsoft Project, but all in all, it was very useful, a lot of knowledge, and it made the 300 hours truly enjoyable. In closing, there's some folks I would like to thank. First and foremost, I would like to thank my boss, Chairman Richard Montgomery, who is chair of the Board of Parole, for allowing me the privilege and opportunity to attend this course. I also want to thank the staff here at the Board of Parole that covered for me when I was out, and those who helped me with the capstone project, and most important, those who are helping me right now implement that project. Also, I would like to thank Trent, Will, Dr. Eagley, the entire staff, the facilitators at NAFI who took the time to offer this to us, and most importantly, were willing to adapt in the midst of COVID. And last, certainly not least, I have to thank my best friend, who just so happens to be my wife, Cindy Provence, who was very encouraging through this process. She never once complained on a beautiful Saturday or a beautiful Sunday afternoon if I had my nose stuck in a book or in a computer screen working towards this CPM. So on behalf of the Nashville class, congratulations to each of us. Congratulations to our cohorts and to our friends at NAFI. Thank you so much for this invaluable opportunity.
Good morning. Congratulations, CPM graduates. I am honored to be representing the Knoxville cohort today. Recently, I was interviewing candidates for a position in our department, and one of the applicants made an offhand comment about lazy government employees. And I immediately had two thoughts. Number one, that was a really bad choice of words when interviewing with a government employee for a public job. And number two, I've worked with hundreds of public servants over the course of my career, and I have just not seen that in the vast majority of them. When I was reflecting on what I wanted to talk about today, I thought about that interview again and how the participants in this year's CPM program showed just how wrong that guy was when he casually threw out the word lazy. You know, furthering your education as a way to improve yourself is one of those goals that we can all be proud of. And while I don't think any of us would argue that we gained a lot from the CPM program as individuals, the purpose of it all and the approach taken by everyone that I've seen over the past year has been to focus on how this experience could help us better serve our communities. That commitment to public service was evident in every class. We saw it in group discussions and from our instructors who were working so hard to make a new virtual environment just as good as the in-person training that they are so well known for. And in January, we really saw that commitment in all its glory as we watched everyone present their capstone projects. These projects focused on just a huge variety of topics. However, they all had one thing in common: making Tennessee better through improving public services. We saw a project aimed at giving families closure through solving cold cases, and another made that learning to collect evidence easier, so there will be less cold cases to solve in the future. Projects that made government agencies more functional through ensuring public servants understand their mission, can do their jobs safely in the midst of a pandemic, provide services more quickly, find records when they're needed, and have access to top-notch relevant training no matter what the future holds for in-person learning. And we did not shy away from working on some really difficult issues that we're facing across the state of Tennessee. We looked at TennCare fraud, school safety, reducing the tax burden of the poor, and improving our recidivism rates. Those were all tackled by members of the 2020 cohort. There's no way to know the full impact of these projects, even though we have a good idea on the financial side, thanks to all of Trent's efforts. The relationships built will continue to pay dividends, possibly larger than the financial ones, for years to come, for us as individuals, but more importantly, for the communities where we all serve. It has been a privilege to spend the last year learning alongside all of you, whether virtually or in person, and I am grateful that we had the opportunity to experience this program under the NAFI Center. CPM may be offered nationwide, but I am certain that no other program is led by a more dedicated group of people, and I dare say anyone seeing the work that they do to ensure we are all successful would ever call any of them lazy. Thank you so much. It has been a privilege to spend the last year with all of you.
Tom, I just wanted to say how proud I am for you for all of the work that you put into the CPM program. It was a great pleasure hearing your updates week by week of how it was going and what you were doing and what you were working on. I'm so proud of the work product that you put into the state of Tennessee and the capstone project with the amazing amount of savings that you have helped our office with based on the process improvements. Congratulations on your graduation and have a great time at the ceremony.
Hello, CPM graduates. Hope you all are having a wonderful day. I want to give a special shout out to Joanna Owenby. Joanna, you did a great job throughout the past year, not only reworking the EOA program, taking it virtually, and teaching multiple classes throughout the year, throughout this crazy year, but also finishing the CPM program. Congratulations to you, and congratulations to all of you in the CPM program. I hope you all are having a great day.
My name is Dr. John Dunn, and I'm the state epidemiologist for the Tennessee Department of Health, and I wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate Lisa Hanner, Jennifer Sanchez, and Ashley Dirks for completing the CPM. This year for the Department of Health has been very challenging with COVID, and I really appreciate the efforts that you three have gone to complete the CPM, get the additional training, which I know is going to help our program and the people of Tennessee. So Lisa, Ashley, and Jen, congratulations on your achievement, and thanks for all the work you do for the people of Tennessee and for the Tennessee Department of Health.
Hello, Regina. Congratulations on getting your CPM certification. I know you've worked very hard on this, and you've learned a lot as you've shared along the way some of the beneficial videos. And again, I know a lot of work's gone into this. A lot of work went into your capstone project as well. And, you know, it was wonderful timing on your part for looking at ways of helping our office become paperless, as it became very important that we do so during this COVID time. So thanks again for your hard work and congratulations.
Katie, congratulations on completing your CPM certification. I'm so thankful to have you on our team and for the capstone project that you chose. I'm confident that implementation of the program will be highly impactful to our entire organization here at the City of McMinnville. The hard work and dedication that you've exhibited throughout this program and throughout your time here at the city has not gone unnoticed. You're an amazing asset for our community in so many ways. Thank you and congratulations.
Hey, Jenny, congratulations on earning your CPM certification. And also congratulations on completing your capstone project, the Knox County Fire and Rescue Services report. Not only congratulations, though, thank you very much, because this is a very important report, and thank you for all the work that you did on that. I know it took a lot of time to earn your CPM certification, along with all the other stuff you have going on. Congratulations. We're all proud of you. Thank you, and we're glad that you're here in Knox County.
Hi, Jen. I want to congratulate you on completing your CPM certification. I know how hard you work all day at work, at home with your family, and all the additional coursework that you do to improve and grow. And I am so proud of everything that you've accomplished in these last 2 years that I've known you. And I can't wait to see where your future takes you. So I'm so happy to know you and work with you, and congratulations. Enjoy your day.
Congratulations, Mike, Ben, Kelsey, on your graduation from the CPM certification program. What an outstanding achievement and another step in your career. I want to say thank you for the hard work and the effort and the commitment that you provide to our customers day in and day out, and trying to pursue this program and to put the time and effort that you did into the capstone project, which was an area that was near and dear to my heart over my career. I also want to say thank you as I transition into my new position. Your words of encouragement, the comments and the suggestions and the awareness education that you've provided me has been invaluable. Again, congratulations on your graduation, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Mike Dogus, congratulations on completing your CPM certification, and we look forward to the implementation of your capstone project in Tennessee State Parks. Congratulations on this great accomplishment. Thank you for all you do.
Wes, Alicia, and Joanna, congratulations on finishing the CPM. I know it was a challenging program and took a lot of time away from your other regular duties, and I hope that after you've had a chance to stop and reflect on the program, that you'll realize that it was really so much worth all the time and effort you put into it. I know that our customers will see and feel the positive improvements as a result of your participation in the program through improvements in our internal analysis, our connections with the state, and our enhancements to our online training. Way to go, you three. I'm so proud of you.
Hi, Ariel. It's Priscilla. Congratulations. From the minute you started talking about your capstone project, I got excited. I'm looking forward to what you come up with in terms of the efficiency, accountability, education, and expectation management that it'll bring to the agency. And I'm also looking forward to what the future brings for you. Congratulations again. Well done.
Hey, Robert. Toby Compton here. Congratulations on your graduation from the Certified Public Manager Program. I know the Navy Center for Effective Leadership has done a great job and enjoyed hearing about your experiences so far. Love working with you. Thanks for all the service you provide to the state, and keep up the good work.
Hi, I'm Sharon Rollins, and I have the pleasure of having Alicia Hodge on my team at MTAS. Alicia chose a capstone project that was very timely during COVID. Last year, there were many executive orders impacting municipal governments coming out of the governor's office. Tennessee cities needed key contact information, and they needed it now. Alicia saw that and quickly switched her capstone project plans to create an electronic resource that could be helpful to MTAS and its customers. She moved to develop and distribute such resource. It has many positive outcomes listed here. Increase operational efficiencies for MTAS and its customers, enhance service to MTAS customers, forge and strengthen partnerships with Tennessee state agencies, and build MTAS brand recognition. Alicia, you are always thinking, always looking for ways to serve. You work tirelessly to create work products for the benefit of others, and this is just one example. I'm very proud of you. Thank you for all you do for MTAS cities.
Scott, I want to take a moment to congratulate you on completion of the Certified Public Managers course. I hope you find the new skills you've acquired and the colleagues you have met as valuable to you as I have. I realize all the time and hard work you put in the program while never wavering from your duties here at TWRA, all while doing a lot of this work remotely. From both myself, TWRA, congratulations on this career achievement, and thank you for the great job you do for our division and for our agency, as well as the state of Tennessee at large. Happy graduation, Scott.
I just want to say congratulations on your CPM. You've done a marvelous job getting your goals accomplished. I'm very proud to have you on our staff. You really make a difference for Germantown Public Works. Thank you.
Tanya and Will, congratulations on completing your CPM certifications. That's a big deal. Also, congratulations on your capstone project. I think it's going to make a real difference in our work here at NAFI. I know it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy to get this thing done, and I know how much work you've got to do otherwise as well, so that's what makes this especially sweet. Congratulations to both of you. Well done.
Good morning, everyone. I have the privilege of reading the names this morning of our participants, and I want to use the chat function to send your shout outs today. Our first participant is Leslie Becerra. Ricky Bailey. Kenneth Blue. Joe Bowers. Marshall Boyd. Gina Birchfield. Veronica Clark. Bobby Daniels. Scott Denton. Ashley Dirks. Regina Dobbins. Mike Dobis. Brandon Elkins. Ariel Evans. Stacy Uhl. Wes Fernandez. Mike Daly. Robert Gribble. Keith Groves. Jennifer Hall. Lisa Hanner. Justin Hansen. Cindy Hobbs. Elisha Hodge. Jenny Holden. Jill Holland. Aaron Kiefer. Katie Kamisis. Todd Kennedy. Jeff Lindsay. Adam McCormick. Johnny McTurner. Donna Nelson, Joanna Owenby, Catherine Perdue, Will Porter, Sheila Pounder, Jim Purviance, Jenny Risch, Bridget Roberts, Daryl Robertson, Ben Rogers, Emily Rosar, Jennifer Sanchez, Kelsey Schweitzer, Tom C., Mark Shipley, Molly Stanfield, Tanya Washington. Congratulations, graduates.
Well, I just want to congratulate each of our CPM graduates. It's such an honor to be a part of a program where you see people come together and we learn a lot of great things. We have some great discussions and just a lot of networking and just seeing great people come together and just talk and share ideas. And ultimately, our goal is to make Tennessee a better place. And you all are doing just that. So I just want to thank you again so much for your hard work, for just pushing through as I talk about the program and I get to interact with several different people and explain what the program is. And I just share with them, I get to work with the best people in the state of Tennessee, just some awesome talent. And I'm so humbled by having Deputy Governor Lang Wiseman and Dr. Byrd share those thoughts that just go along right with what we talk about in the heart of CPM and then even with our representatives with the heart of being public servants. You all are the great examples of that. And through the adversity of the pandemic, you saw it through. And we went to online and virtual and back in person and just having patience with us as we navigate through this process. So we're humbled at the NAFI Center for all of this, the great people that we get to work with. I wanted to take just a moment as we are closing out our graduation ceremony. I want to thank several people. And this program is made possible by a bunch of people that have worked very, very, very hard. And so first thing I would want to do is I want to thank President Randy Boyd from the University of Tennessee. He has been so supportive of our program and our different challenges we've had and met those challenges. I also want to thank Dr. Herb Byrd, who has had the foresight to see about this program years in advance and helped us to get it to fruition. I want to thank Dr. Maisel Ely, our director of the NAFI Center, for his time and his patience and his counsel as we've worked on the different elements of the CPM program, and just really for his foresight and just his consistency. And just want to thank him for his guidance and all that. I also want to thank our program leadership program director, Jeff Stiles. He greeted you earlier, such a great example and a friend and guider of the program and of me, and just support So thankful for those individuals. I also want to thank our training coordinator, Patrick Mills, for all of his support throughout the program and copies and food and just support with whatever needed. And then recently we transitioned to Jeff Hunley helping with the program. Both of those individuals have worked tirelessly to help support and make things the best that it can be through this transition into a virtual world. So just honored to have work with those. I also want to say a special thank you to the supervisors of our participants. Thank you for your trust with your employees. We take that very seriously, and we thank you for your support, for your encouragement of making the CPM program possible in your agency. And we tell the participants as they go through the program, work with your supervisors. Let's see what we can do to make your agency better, to make things work better, to make things much more efficient. And I want to thank you for your trust in the NAFI Center and the University of Tennessee. And then finally, I just want to thank each of you for trusting us with your professional development for this certification, for allowing us just to pour into you the resources of the University of Tennessee. That's ultimately what our goal is at the NAFI Center, the Institute of Public Service, and UT, is to bring those resources and connect those, educate, discover, and connect those folks around us in the state of Tennessee. So I just want to thank you for that. And I want to just brag on you. Because of your diligent effort, we've tossed a lot of economic impact numbers around. And as we started really kind of seeing where it is going to rest for this year, it's a record-breaking year for us, but it's about $19.6 million that you all, the economic impact you have made in the state of Tennessee, directly related to the Certified Public Manager program. So give yourself a hand. If we were in a crowd, there would be a mass applaud, and so we'll do that virtually. But just so grateful for all the work. And that is just, and from most of the folks that have been through the program, that was a very conservative number. It will probably double or triple that when we start seeing the capstone projects come into fruition. So I just want to thank you for your diligence and I loved how Deputy Governor Wiseman said about taking those risks and taking the shot. He couldn't have phrased it any better and set up our program by saying that you have taken a risk and you've taken the shot, and we are the state of Tennessee is benefiting of your research and your good work. I recently read a quote from Abraham Lincoln. He said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe." And that's what you've done. You've been sharpening your axe. Covey likes to say sharpening the saw. And so we're so grateful that you took that time and you entrusted us to sharpen your saw. Now, you've cut down a tree with your economic impact and your project, capstone projects, but you have many more trees to cut down. And we are so thankful that you are part of this network as you continue to learn and develop in the Certified Public Manager. Just want to thank you again for being with us today, and be looking in the mail for your diploma. We will be sending those out here shortly. And so they'll be coming in the mail in a big envelope. And so we're so proud of that. And also we're excited to be delivering digitally your digital badge. And so you'll be able to put that on your email profile. I'll send you instructions on how to do that. And so you can show people that you are a certified public manager. That's a certification that's nationally recognized. And so we're so excited about that opportunity to see digitally your accomplishments. And so again, I want to thank all of you and your many, many hours of hard work. It's we can take an hour and we can talk about it in the graduation ceremony, but the hours you spent and just going through your online classes and going to class and Zoom and working through all the different areas, it's just a great opportunity for us to be together. And just want to thank you for your hard work. And so with that, I want to thank you for being with us today. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you to all of our participants and guests for watching. And we hope you have a wonderful weekend. And keep us in mind, if you'd like to join the CPM program next year, there is room for you as we look forward to our guests anyway, as we look forward to the upcoming years. So have a great afternoon. Thank you for coming.